Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. It's September, and baseball is off on a stretch run. Cruising in New York, the Mets are just jogging after lapping the field early on, but they're tuning up and bearing down for a playoff sprint. Closing in Toronto, the Blue Jays were way back in the pack, but they kicked in around the far turn, and now they're coming on strong. Accelerating in Houston, the Astros have hit full stride and are hoping to avoid a mad dash, but they might have to step on it. Streaking in California, the Angels picked up the pace and are looking mighty swift. So get on your mark and get set, 'cause it's time to go, y'all, right here on This Week in Baseball. Celebrating our 10th anniversary.
Mel, baby, you're the best. Happy 10th anniversary.
American League. The Toronto Blue Jays are beginning to believe they can do it again.
9 years the Blue Jay fans have waited for this. There's a drive to George Bell. He's got to come in. He's there. He's got it. The Blue Jays have won it. The Jays have won it. They've won the Eastern Division Championship. How about those Toronto Blue Jays? They've done it.
That was last year when Toronto won the East. But for most of this season, the Jays just couldn't find a way to fly right.
Upshaw's over against the railing. He reaches in. He can't get it.
Look out. Slow ground ball to Upshaw. Bobbles the ball. Breaking ball. There's one bang to right field. Barfield going back. Way back. That ball's gone.
Ground ball to third. Grabbed by Mullenix. Throws to second for the fourth. They don't need a double play. Garcia forgot how many out there were.
But the Jays have smoothed out their problems, winning 17 out of 21, including 9 straight to tie a team record and move within reach of first-place Boston. They've been led by what many consider the best outfield in baseball. In left, George Bell. Patrolling center, Lloyd Moseby. And stationed in right, Jesse Barfield. Bell is sounding off big this season, near the top of the league in home runs with 29, RBIs with 100, and batting average at almost .330. Mosby's got some nifty numbers as well. 20 homers, 77 RBIs, and 29 stolen bases. As for Barfield, how about a .300 average, 93 RBIs, and 30 home runs? And get this, all three are just 26 years old, born within 2 weeks of each other. Talk about three of a kind. Reserve second baseman Manny Lee has more modest numbers, but while filling in for injured Damaso Garcia, he hit .300 with 6 RBIs during the 9-game winning streak. Tony Fernandez is batting .320 with 22 steals, and he's becoming one of the best in the business at shortstop.
My favorite, just for down the road, looking down for the next 10 years or so, is the shortstop Fernandez. I really believe Fernandez, as time goes on, if he keeps his head, I don't know how his head is, I'm not around him, but if he has a good head, this young man has a chance to be a great player.
Toronto fans are also in the spin over rookie reliever Mark Eichhorn, who leads all Major League pitchers with an ERA of 1.7. Yes, indeed, after a bad start that had them cellar dwelling in late June, the Blue Jays are back. In the West, the California Angels are looking down from on high. Angels are up in the clouds after soaring off with 7 straight victories, their longest winning streak in more than 3 years. The Angels wrapped up their first ever 4-game sweep of Detroit with divine inspiration. Down by 7 in the 9th, they scored 4 runs before Dick Schofield batted with 2 out and the bases full.
There's a drive hit deep. This ball game is over. A grand slam home run and the Angels win it. They score 9 times in the 9th inning and they beat the Tigers. Can you believe it?
They really scored one less, but 8 was enough. And if that was hard to believe, well, so was the next game. Doug DeCinces up in the 9th, 1 on. The Angels down a run.
It's a fly ball to right. Gibson back at the fence. It's gone! Well, lightning strikes again against the Detroit Tigers, and this time the opposite field home run by Doug DeCinces. And the Angels have the magic going for them this year.
DeCinces has provided plenty of magic. That blast came one day after he turned 36. But he's playing like a youngster, batting .337 with 9 homers and 25 RBIs in the month of August. Magic on the mound has come from Mike Witt, who went 5-0 in August and collected 7 consecutive wins before a loss, and it gave him a record of 16-8 with an ERA near 2.6. Question now is, can California keep the magic coming down the stretch? Now, let's open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's TWIB notes from around the American League. Boston's Roger Clemens beat Cleveland to become the first 20-game winner in the majors this season. In the process, he struck out 11 to raise his league-leading total to 207. For 24-year-old Clemens, practice and hard work have paid off.
I did a lot of simulation when I was younger and in front of mirrors, working on my form and things like that. Usually they say the two don't come together, the power, pitching, and control, but I don't know how you would teach it, and I'm just going out there trying to go hard as long as I can, and people say I'm maybe working too hard, but you know, it's something I want to do right now, and I'm having a lot of success with that.
No argument there. Congratulations, Rocket. Bo Jackson was called up to Kansas City this week, and in his first major league at-bat, last year's Heisman Trophy winner faced the Chicago White Sox with Steve Carlton pitching. But it didn't make any difference to Bo.
There's one, a long drive, way back. This ball is foul. Well, you listen to this. He's got a standing ovation for a foul ball.
Jackson went back to the plate and promptly earned another standing O with a base hit. He finished the night 1 for 3. And on his final at-bat, he had to call on his running back speed to avoid hitting into a triple play. Welcome to the big leagues, Bo. New York's Don Mattingly is a lefty. So what was he doing at third base? Playing there, of course, and mighty well. Only the third lefty since 1936 to handle the hot corner. For part of one game and all of another in Seattle, Mattingly played third without an error.
Anything down the line was going to be awful tough for me to handle, and I was just hoping to keep the ball in the middle of the field where I could get a better angle on it and try to throw somebody out. It was kind of, you know, a fun thing. It's something you always think you can play somewhere else, and it was kind of enjoyable to play over there a couple of games. I think I've had my share now, but it was a good time.
Now it's time for this week's quiz, brought to you by Nissan. Test drive the new Nissan hard-body trucks at your Nissan dealer now. Oakland's Jose Canseco is making a strong bid for Rookie of the Year honors. First major leaguer to drive in 100 runs this season. California's Wally Joyner is also a candidate, and with 90 RBIs, he's got a good shot at 100. Now, for this week's quiz, can you name the last 2 rookies with at least 100 RBIs in one season? Stay tuned for a pair of teammates. National League report. The New York Mets are indeed miraculous. When premier catcher Gary Carter was sidelined for 2 weeks with a thumb injury, suffered while playing first base, everybody wondered how the Mets would respond. Well, they simply went 11-3 without Carter.
Hernandez with a line drive, base hit into left center. Both runs will score, and the Mets lead 3-1.
Fly ball deep to left. Way back is Mitchell. And he jumps. Did he catch it? Yes, he did.
This ball hit hard to left field. Way back. It's going, and it is gone. Goodbye. And the Mets lead it by a score of 3-0.
Ground ball. Templeton's coming around to score. Flannery to second. The throw. Out at home. He's out at home.
It's been a miracle year for this ball club.
Rookie Ed Hearn didn't perform any miracles while filling in for Carter, but he did bat near .280 in 10 games behind the plate while providing solid defense.
You never like to get in there because of an injury. I'm not trying to fill his shoes. I don't think there's anybody in baseball who can fill his shoes right now. I'm not trying to go in there and be Gary Carter. I have to go in there and be myself, do the job I'm capable of, and if I can do that, I think, everything will be great.
Everything's already great for Roger McDowell. 18 saves, 13 wins, giving the Mets a good chance to become the first team since the 1930 Washington Senators with 5 15-game winners in the same year. One of the keys to McDowell's success this season has been his fielding.
I take pride in my fielding. I work on it in spring training, and it's going to help me win some games, help me save some games when the need be. So I think if a pitcher can field his position, he's going to help himself.
The Mets have been helping themselves so well, the only question is the clinching date.
I think a lot of the guys want to win it in New York. I would like to win it in New York. Our fans have been great to us, and they've waited since '73 for this situation again, and I'd like to see New York go crazy and try to win it in New York. We got a middle road trip in the middle of September. It's fairly long, and we have to clinch it before then. If we don't do it then, we'll clinch it on the road, and I want to do it in New York.
With Carter now back in action, New York is already preparing for the playoffs. In the West, the Houston Astros are surprising everybody, even themselves.
Had you asked me in spring training, will the Astros have an 8-game lead or so late in August, I probably would have said probably not. I wouldn't have thought that anyone in our division would at this stage. I thought our division was a little too even for that. By no means are we home free yet, but the fact that we have the 8-game lead now is a little bit surprising. But I think if you look back at the season and how consistent we've been, you can see how it's worked out that way.
We've come from behind 20 times in our last at-bat and have won a ball game on our last at-bat since the start of the season, and I think it shows the character of the ball club and in the sense that they never quit on you no matter how many runs you're down or how late in the ball game it is.
Never say never. That's one of my favorite songs I've ever listened to by Romeo Void, and it's never say never has been the attitude of this team all year. It's like, forget it, we ain't quitting.
The Astros couldn't have picked a better way to celebrate their 25th anniversary, entering September with a solid lead over the rest of the West. They've put the defending champion Dodgers down for the count, and they've just about closed the door on San Francisco, and they're in command of the battle with Cincinnati.
What we've tried to tell them, the coaches and myself, is not to worry about who's behind us. Worry about the Houston Astros and what they do on that particular day. Don't be looking over your shoulders at Cincinnati or San Francisco, who, they both have good ball clubs, and we know that it's not over yet because there's a lot of games left. But be concerned about what the Astros do from here on in, and don't worry about it. Go out and play the consistent baseball that you've played throughout the whole season, and see what happens in the 1st of October.
Houston hopes to be wearing a division crown by then, and if so, they'll almost certainly face New York in the League Championship Series. And by the way, the Astros were 5-7 against the Mets this year.
We know the Mets have an outstanding ball club. On paper, if you go position by position, you have to say the Mets have a better ball club than we do. They have more depth. Their pitching is good, just like ours is. But we also know that in a 7-game series, anything can happen. And we've played the Mets well this year. We've had some outstanding ball games with them. They've played well against us, and we've played well against them. We're not assuming that we've won our division yet. We've got a long way to go. We still have to do our job to win our division. But if we can hold on and do that, we feel like we have a chance to beat the Mets. And we'll have to play good ball to do it. We know that, but we feel like we have a chance.
Heading down the stretch, their chances sure look mighty good. Now, let's review this week in baseball's TWIB notes from around the National League. Davey Lopes of Houston ranks 10th all-time with 556 steals. 24 have come since his 40th birthday, May 3rd, most in Major League history by a player in his 40s. The old record of 23 steals by a player in his 40s was held by the Flying Dutchman, Hall of Famer Honus Wagner of Pittsburgh in 1914. Philadelphia's Von Hayes as hot as can be. The league leader in doubles with 35, Hayes went 12 for 26 with 9 RBIs in a 6-game win streak. And over a 24-game stretch in which the Phillies went 17-7, Hayes hit .315 with 20 RBIs. Meanwhile, reliever Steve Bedrosian has been doing it on the mound. saving 4 straight games for the Phillies to raise his total to 22, tying the team record for most saves in a season by a righty. Now, let's tie up the answer to this week's Nissan quiz. In 1975, Jim Rice of Boston teamed up with Freddie Lynn to become the last 2 rookies with at least 100 RBIs in one season. Lynn was Rookie of the Year and MVP, finishing with 105 RBIs. Rice drove in 102 runs that year as Boston went to the World Series, losing a 7-game thriller to Cincinnati's Big Red Machine. Hey, fans, baseball's beat is on. Another knockout season shows that the game can turn a ballpark into party town.
I got sick of my job, sick of my wife, sick of my future and sick of my life. I'm going to party town. Yeah, yeah. I want to party down. Yeah, yeah. I want to have some fun. I want to fool around. I'm going to party town. The sun comes up, the sun goes down. Doesn't really matter in party town. They go all day and they go all night. They keep on going till they get it right. Right here in party town. Yeah, yeah. They really party down. Yeah, yeah. Man, it's a party town. Yeah, yeah. You know they all got their horn and they pass it all around. Party town. Yeah, yeah. Party town. Yeah, yeah. Party town. Yeah, yeah. Oh, party town. We're so cool.
Man alive, that ain't no jive. And the party's going strong for the big stretch drive along. Time now to stretch up, and away with some high-flying fielders who can really make the play. Leading off, 47-year-old Phil Niekro of Cleveland. Tribe teammate Corey Snyder. Montreal's Tim Wallach with a rifle. Philadelphia's Mike Schmidt with a gun of his own. Staying with the Phillies for Milt Thompson. For the Boston Red Sox, Tony Armas. Atlanta's Dale Murphy. San Francisco's Candy Maldonado. New York Met Keith Hernandez. Back to the Braves for Glenn Hubbard. California's Bobby Grinch. The Mets again with Ron Darling. Darryl Boston, Chicago White Sox. And if that wasn't enough, how about a Boston encore? Now it's This Week in Baseball's 10th anniversary flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Let's flash back to 1978. Len Barker was pitching for Texas at Fenway Park when he uncorked one of the wildest wild pitches ever seen. Barker spent 10 years in the majors and tossed a perfect game for Cleveland in 1981. But this had to be his least perfect pitch.
Len Barker is a power pitcher, and it was really cool that day in Boston. And it was tough to get a grip on the ball. And with the bases loaded, Dwight Evans was up. And
at that time, Len had been throwing. He was known as a hard thrower with a good breaking ball, but not great control at that particular time. And I thought he might throw me a curveball. But when he first let the thing go, I said, boy, if this thing breaks, I'm in trouble, because I started looking at it like this, and I kept following it, and I looked, and it ended up by the radio people up there.
I was standing on the top step, and I was watching Lenny throw, and all of a sudden, I thought it was a joke. And it wasn't a curveball, something that slipped. It was a fastball that just got away from him, and it was ridiculous. I mean, he had the announcers ducking up there.
And I had never seen it happen. I didn't know what to do. I kind of stood there and looked at him, and he looked back at me, and the runners were all running around the bases. And I thought, well, maybe I should wait until the ball goes down, but if I do that, everybody's going to be around the bases. Maybe I should go up and get it.
A few things went through my mind. I said, well, if I swung at it, is it a swing and a miss and I get to go to first base or what? But it was ball 3, and I think he walked me on the next pitch. It kind of shook him up.
Lyndon Barker was really embarrassed by it. I mean, you just don't see that happen in the major league level. I don't think you see that wild of a pitch, even in amateur ball. But it was just one of those days that the ball really slipped out of his hand.
You couldn't say anything. It was funny. It was hilarious. Because you just don't throw a ball that far away from home plate. I mean, he missed 150 feet.
Total dismay and chaos.
That's something that I'll never forget. I'm sure that you people either. So it's an experience that I'll remember.
As the umpire said, what a ball. He was right. The one that got away. And that's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Joe Tate and Jack Corrigan bring you all the action tonight at 8:30 when the Cleveland Indians battle the Milwaukee Brewers here on WUAB. The Herb Score Show is next on Channel 43.